Moving on to the next discussion, that is the Persons with Disabilities Act. Now, this act was enacted to fulfill the international obligation on the India, that is India had signed proclamation on full participation and equality of the people with disabilities in the Asian and Pacific region. After signing this convention, they were in need to pass the legislation. As a result of that, we have come up with Persons with Disabilities Act. The act has an objective to ensure full participation and equality to the persons with disability, and to ensure that they have also established a series of authorities with a series of powers. The highest authority under the act is Central Coordination Committee. This committee is a national focal point, and this CCC would help in developing comprehensive policy and evolution of comprehensive policy for persons with disability. They work as a bridge between the Department of the State and NGOs, and they keep advising the central government in coming up with new projects for persons with disability. They take up individual cause of persons with disability and fight a case in the court of law, or it can also make a recommendation to the department. Further, the Central Coordination Committee work with international organizations also, and the projects of the international organizations in India would be reviewed by the Central Coordination Committee, and also they take steps to ensure barrier free environment and monitor and evaluate impact of the policy on the society. So, like this they have been made to work on various aspects. Similar to this Central Coordination Committee, there is a State Coordination Committee which has got similar functions, but with a geographical restrictions. So, therefore, what we have as an authority under PWD Act are the central government has Central Coordination Committee assisted by Central Executive Committee, whereas state government has State Coordination Committee assisted by State Executive Committee. So, what is this executive committees does? They again function to bring in the policies of the Central Coordination Committee into action. So, basically the Central Executive Committee is a foot soldier of Central Coordination Committee. So, similarly there is a State Executive Committee which function under State Coordination Committee. So, moving on to the next entitlement process, that is the Rehabilitation Council of India. This act was passed in the year 1992, and this act was created with the object of establishing Rehabilitation Council. This Rehabilitation Council is a professional body. This body indulges itself into training the trainers who are going to in turn empower the persons with a disability. This Rehabilitation Council indulges in various different kinds of trainings which can improve the economic condition of a person with disability. So, the Rehabilitation Council consists of chairman with a social work background, members from various departments including UGC, General Indian Council, Director of General Indian Council, Medical Research Council. So, the variety of members are included, including medical practitioners and the parliamentarians. So, moving on from Rehabilitation Council of India to a bill which is still under the pipeline, that is Rights of Persons with Disabilities, Draft Bill 2012. So, this is yet to be enacted, and this is one bill which provides access to justice in its traditional sense. This bill ensures access to the court. till now when we discussed Mental Health Act, PWD Act, Rehabilitation Act, all these were mostly concerned with entitlements, but this is the act which considers access as one of the right. So, here the act, that is the bill, is passed with an object, or the bill is been drafted with the object of providing legal capacity to the person with disability, and to provide him with the legal facility, it also suggests making suitable arrangements. So, in the legal capacity, the disabled person enjoys right to move court. So, when he has a right to move court, the court has to create reasonable accommodation for this person with disability. So, reasonable accommodation in the sense he should be given the documents in the form in which he could read. If a blind person moves a court, then he should be given all the documents in a braille language. Then no discrimination against person with disability due to his disablement. National and state legal service authorities also should make provisions for making the documents available in different methods by which a person with disability can easily access. So, therefore, the bill creates an obligation on national and state legal service authorities to create documents in a different fashion. The important authority that is established under the bill is the Disability Rights Court. Now, this is a court established to take care of the disputes connected with the persons with disability. He may be a victim of an act or he may be an offender of an act. The case would be heard by the Disability Rights Court, and this court is expected to dispose of the cases speedily. Mostly the state government recognizes existing court as a disability court, but sometimes they are empowered to establish a new disability court if there is a more population of more than 10 lakh in a city. Disability court comes up with Disability Right Council, so where the free legal aid is provided to the person with disability. Then comes the National Trust Act, which is passed in the year 1999, and this act is passed with the object of maintaining a national level a trust for persons suffering from autism, cerebral palsy, mental retardation and multiple disabilities. Under this National Trust Act, there is a provision for appointment of a guardian for the person with disability and a provision and an ability to lead an independent life. And this National Trust Act is expected to fulfill all the objectives of the PWD Act. So, in conclusion, I want to mention that the laws on access to justice in a traditional sense do not exist in India. So, there is no provision in which a person with disability can approach court, and there is no provision by which he can access the justice. A person with disability can access justice because he may be a poor, but not because he is a disabled person. So, traditional sense still there is a lot to be done, but in a modern view where entitlements also can be considered as access to justice, there are provisions which exist, but still there is a need for sensitization of the society and there is a need for implementation of the law effectively. Thank you.